In this video, I'm going to show you 3 amazing ways to whiten teeth in Photoshop. We're going to start off by making a hue and saturation adjustment layer and bring the lightness all the way to about 50. And I want to invert that layer mask, Command I. So I have a black layer mask. And now I'm going to paint with white on my layer mask. But first, if your colors over here are not black and white, you can hit a D, and to switch the foreground and background colors, you want to make sure that you hit X and white is your foreground color. B for the brush tool, I'm going to have a soft round brush, roughly the size of the tooth, and I'm going to paint rather quickly here to get all the teeth covered. With this method, there is no selection, so you have to paint, and you have to be a little bit careful. Something like that. If you still see that you have a little bit of yellow in there, you can click on the layer thumbnail itself and choose yellows and take the saturation down a little bit. And the last thing I might do is bring down the opacity, trying to make it look a little bit more natural. If I say 70, there is the before and there's the after. So that's method number 1. Pretty easy, pretty quick. No selection required. Let's move on to the next one. In this example, we need to make a selection around the teeth. So we're going to use the lasso tool. L for the lasso tool. It is up here on the toolbar. And I'm going to draw and try to do the best job I can. We can refine this, so don't worry about it too much. And I'll do this as quickly as I can. And if I hold down the Alt option, I can get this little area right in here. Another little area right here, and another area right here. Okay, so I have my selection. Now, if I want to refine that selection, I can use the quick mask. I can come down here to the lower left in the toolbar, and there is this square with a circle in the middle. That is my quick mask. If I say Q, you can see that it highlights the area that I have selected in red. I've got that set up in here. If I double click on the tool, it brings up the quick mask options, and as you can see, selected areas is red. So that's how I have it set up. So now I just paint with my brush, B for the brush tool, and make sure my foreground color is black, and all these areas that I missed, I can just come in here and paint them in up here with the top of the gum. If I paint too much, just hit X and paint it away. Hit X again and continue to refine it. Now that we're done, hit Q again. There is our selection. And now I'm going to create a new layer, and on that layer, I'm going to create a group, Command G, and with the selection still active, and I have the group highlighted, I'm going to hit the Add New Layer Mask, and now anything that I put in this group is going to have that layer mask working for it. That's just in case I need to add more adjustments. Next, I'm going to add a hue saturation adjustment layer, and that is in that group, so that layer mask on the group is working with the hue and saturation. So now I'm going to hit the Colorize button, and yes, it made it all purple, but what we can do now is adjust our hue slightly, not very much. You can see it's starting to turn white. I'm taking the hue to the right, and I'm going to take my saturation down a little bit, and the hue also, to try and even this out and bring up the lightness just a little bit. I'm going to bring down the opacity a little bit on that hue and saturation just to make it look a little bit more realistic. Say 80. There is the before, and there's the after. Let's move on to the next example. Hey, if you're getting value out of this so far, hit that like button. In this example, we're not going to use a selection tool. We're going to use the hue and saturation to make our selection for us. So again, making a hue and saturation adjustment layer, and I'm going to use this hand tool right here and select teeth, and it did select yellow. Bring up your hue and saturation to the maximum. We come down here to this slider. The top bar, colored bar, is yellow. That's our target color. And the color bar below is the result. We want to narrow the selection around the teeth as much as possible. And we can move this middle a little bit, and you could see that the teeth are being selected. They're blue right now. So if I need to move the slider on the left a little bit just to select a little bit more, I can do that. And these outer sliders, they are feathering our selection. And so you can play with those and try and get it in just right. So now we've got our teeth selected. Bring both these sliders, the hue and the saturation, back to 0 and reduce the saturation. And we can still change the hue a little bit, find a sweet spot. If we need to adjust the lightness a little bit, you can do that. But with this method, you're going to find that sometimes you're going to affect the areas, the lips, the areas of the face. So what you can do is come to the layer mask, hit Command I and invert the layer mask. Use your brush tool and paint with white on the layer mask and paint back in your adjustment. And again, if I've gone too far, I can take down the opacity. There's the before and there's the after. If you want to know more about Photoshop, click on this playlist here. If you haven't already, subscribe, like, and share this video. And remember, it's never too late to learn. Thanks for watching. See you in the next video.